and one of the first world's billionaires said, I'd rather earn 1% from 1,000 people's efforts than making 100% from my own, right? That's the difference between linear and leveraged income. And so I'm like, man, I want leveraged income. I want to go put the same type of blood, sweat, tears, invested energy into something, right? Ideally, just like it's my own business or is my own business, that I can get a leveraged outcome. I was looking for something I could put that time so that if I stopped ever, like it came to this point with wakeboarding, that money would keep coming in. And this is where the economics of my situation fell into place as well, which are truth. I found truth for everyone, yet they became, obviously the pain right in front of my face in this situation, that seeing that based on 5% inflation, the cost of living doubles every 15 years roughly. So it quadruples every 30 years. Yet what happens to incomes? They don't change with that inflation. They basically stay relatively the same. So what's the outcome of that? Is that we have a reduction of lifestyle, right? As we get older. I mean, if you were like me, I was living my dreams, yet I wasn't in my dream home of the future. I wasn't driving my dream car that I wanted. And yet the lifestyle that I was living right then, it would cost me 4 times as much in 30 years. Now here I'm 31 years old going, I'm going to definitely live to, especially if I stop wakeboarding, I'm definitely going to live into my 60s. How am I going to make 4 times the money that I make right now to maintain this lifestyle? And so I knew I had to get leverage. I had to figure out what to find to be able to do that I could put that invested interest into. And what I learned from this book and further is that it's like the difference between building a pipeline, okay, where you can access water anytime you want it, versus walking out to the well outside the house with buckets and getting water every time that I need it. I've got to go to the well to get buckets. Now, so that's linear income, going to the well and getting buckets. Leverage income is that pipeline coming into the house, which modern day we're used to, right? But let's go back in time. You're going out there and getting the well. Let's go into work every day to make money. I'm going to the well to get water every time that I want to cook with it. I want to bathe. I want to clean, right? I want to drink. So I want to bit that pipeline into my house. Well, at the same time that I'm carrying buckets, in addition to carrying the buckets, I've got to dig the ditch. I've got to lay the pipeline. I got to do the extra work to ultimately have leverage of getting that water from the well on demand when I want it. And that is doing something extra. So what I did when I was presented with our company on a presentation very much like this, although it was on a phone call and I wasn't able to see any of these visuals, that I chose to honor my commitments and what I was personally doing with my wakeboarding career and contracts. And in addition, I started building this business in my part-time. Yet I was so hungry, I put full-time activity in my part-time. And so I was like doing 2 things at once until my income hit a point in 4 months later that I was like, man, wakeboarding's a sinking ship for me. This is a rocket ship. I'm jumping ship. And that's when I went full-time into our business. Now, the results of this for me is that I have been with the company and worked for 21 years. I have worked 11 of them. My wife and I got married 6 years into my business. I'd been at the top of the compensation plan for 5 of those 6 years. We took a 2-year honeymoon. 2 years. I invested my marriage. During that time, my income grew 32% without me working every day. For the first time ever that I was able to actually have income coming in when I wasn't had my foot on the gas the whole freaking time, right? I re-engaged the business after that 2 years because we went into a great story that I was really excited about. We saw someone that had put in incredible time exceed $1 million in commissions a month for the first time in our company and do it again and again. And that inspired me. That was why I got involved with the company. I saw a path to be able to create that type of leveraged income. That got my attention. I re-engaged until, as Nick said, in June of 2017, my wife and I found out that we were pregnant with 4 babies at one time. And in 5 months, we were going to go from 1 to 5 children. So that I didn't have to check in with an employee. I didn't have to ask a boss if it was okay. I didn't have to do it. I just chose to focus my time and energy and love on my wife and those unborn children. And I was a stay-at-home dad while my wife was on bed rest for 5 months and in the hospital. So the last 8 years of my life, I have been working on investing in my children, investing in them, and helping them become where they are today, where I have 4 7-year-olds in 1st grade, and I have 1 10-year-old in 4th grade. And so that brings me to today and why we're on here, catching the biggest wave that I have ever seen coming with our company. And you're going to see a wave starting and another wave coming in and a bigger wave and a bigger wave. And then the mammoth wave is somewhere between 18 months to 3 years out. Right now, you might think, oh, well, I have time to wait. I'm here to tell you what you're going to hear today. You want to absorb, you want to learn, and you want to build, okay? You want to build your muscles to be able to catch that giant maverick wave that's coming. You don't start with the big wave. You got to learn and start with the little waves to catch them. So I'm going to do so with 5 points today. I'm going to talk about market trends. I'm going to talk about company. Okay. I'm going to talk about the products and technology, the really differentiation, compensation plan, and timing. And these 5 points are really important in business. You may find something that are 4 or even 3 of them, but these 5, we hit home run out of the park. And I encourage you to take notes on this. So let's look at the first thing, the importance of measurement. Right? Without the ability to measure, you would not have any of these industries. You would not be able to sell statin drugs of $20 billion a year without the cholesterol testing. You wouldn't be able to sell 200 million of calcium without bone density scans. Live scan glucose, 1.5 billion just in 2005. Now, the foundation of all this really started with the scale, stepping on there and seeing a person's weight and wanting that weight to go up or go down. Carl Pearson said that which you measure improves. That which you measure and report exponentially improves. Okay? Our company understands this to a great degree because it is what we do have done for the last 41 years is position ourselves in front of massive trends, okay, that we could catch that wave, not a fad, but a trend, right? And so as we go into this, our company has been around for over 40 years, 5A1 Dun Bradstreet rating, over 40 markets that we have business in, countries, okay, multiple countries that you can work locally and grow a business globally. Over $1 billion in assets, over 60 million invested in research and development just in the last year or years. Billions invested over years into R&D. Publicly traded on New York Stock Exchange and US. This really means that it gives you the ability to look at where we're transparent, look at what we've done in the past, look at who we are today, and where we're going in the future. We are audited. We have to report our earnings. We have to report the incomes that we are paid as the field leadership, creating the business, building the pipeline and the distribution channel, rolling out new products, opening new markets, okay? That you can see what we're paid. And I'm going to actually show you those in a minute of what we paid. The return on the investment that is leveraged here and why we actually do this business. Now, as we create all of this success, I want you to understand that we are a force for good. And we have a desire to breach 1 billion meals served to the nourishment of children around the world. And we started with the country of Malawi, where we started to farm this product, manufacture this product, create schools for teaching farming, schools where the children would come and get taught and be able to, they have to go to school to get the product to be able to take it home. And to date, over 850 million meals served to children of need around the world. And so regardless if you decide, hey, this isn't my time to do this with us, doesn't fit for me right now, I encourage you to get behind our mission to be a force for good and help save children's lives, which is, I'm sure, something that you would love to be a part of. Now, let's go to science and our products. And I want to hang our hat heavy on innovation. It is about research and development. It is about differentiation, okay? Separating ourselves from the competition, that we are not competing on price, which is ultimately the death of any company, because there's no value in being the second lowest price. And honestly, there is value in being the most premium product out there. But we are the difference demonstrated. And if you're not able to demonstrate a difference, then you're not able to show what your product can do that can actually move the market. Now, I'm going to go back to the foundation of our company on the nutrition side is actually a company by the name of Pharmanex that we purchased in the 90s. We purchased them because it was a lot less expensive to buy the premium nutraceutical brand than to start our own within our company. Now, the foundation of Pharmanex, which is the number one product of nutraceuticals on the shelf in retail locations, stores that you would go to and shop, that were basically very difficult to show the difference on a box sitting on the shelf. Because people buy based on graphics, they based on price. And this is a premium product, and they were in 36,000 retail locations around the world, where these founders, Joe Chang, who has over 100 patents with Wyatt Lab, Michael Chang, who has over 100 patents with Merck, and then Carl Drazzi, the founder of the birth control pill. Largest private startup in this space in history at that time. And these gentlemen all got tired of finding things from nature that would then be synthesized by the pharmaceutical companies and turned into a drug that always have side effects. Stereo nanos, you're always going to have a side effect. This could cure everything, and this is going to be the opposite. So they wanted to stay within nature, created the next generation of the pharma world. Now, one of the foundations of this that came with us is the 6S process, and how we really, the selection of our products, the sourcing or the selection of the ingredients, the sourcing of the ingredients, the specification, okay, that actually what's on the label is actually in the bottle, because the regulatory space of this in the world, it's really a snake oil business traditionally, and, right, it's smoke and mirrors. So by being a nutraceutical company, we have the ability to find ourselves in, you'll see an image of this later, in the physician's desk reference, because we have the safety, we have the same substantiation that we put our products out there for peer review, to peer review the clinicals that we have done on these products, that we know that they work, the science go to attempt to poke holes in them, prove that we are right when they're attempting to prove that we're wrong, and then those results are put in peer-reviewed journals, right, that substantiate our products that will do what we say they're going to do. Over 75 scientists on staff with our company at all times in 4 research centers that you'll see a picture of here in a minute, that we continue to innovate. We are known for our devices because they create change. They are the difference demonstrated, and we continue to innovate with this with patented and proprietary products that no one else has in the world. So these research and innovation centers around the world, our labs, give us the power to house those scientists where they work and invest those millions, tens of millions, and even into billions of dollars in differentiating us from our competitors. Now, let's talk about products. And whether we're looking at nutrition or we're looking at personal care, there's confusion out there, right? The question is, what do I take? And then, secondly, how do I know if it works, right? That is a massive question that we know everyone, you deserve to know what to take and is it working? Especially in today's age where the focus of what's going on with making America healthy again, which will ripple around the world. What are we actually putting in our bodies? Is it tested? Is it good for us? And if it's backed by science. Now, science is the ability to measure, right? And you deserve to know. So I got exposed to this technology back in 2004, January, my first exposure. I came in and I got scanned. I got scanned for the first time after being on supplements my entire life. Since I was 6 years old, I remember my dad feeding me liquid vitamins from Charley that were horrible. They were black, liquid in a spoon, and I remember putting them, and they spilled over my fresh scrambled eggs. I'm fairly certain it would be good for me to have some therapy on this because it's still traumatic, is that my dad valued the vitamins, he valued the eggs, and he made me eat those eggs with the vitamins on them. Now, ultimately, over time, I adopted my dad's values with supplementation. I was recommended by my trainers, my coaches, and friends on what to take, but I never knew they worked until I got scanned and I got a score, and I got a C- score. I was in the yellow. I was irritated. I was angry because I knew based on this that optimal nutrition, I was explained at this time, optimal nutrition begins in that blue area above 50,000. And so I didn't like that I was below optimal nutrition, especially when I'm paying several $100s a month on vitamins. So they recommended that I got on their products to be able to see the difference. Now, I want to show you a video that will show you where it came from in the same labs at the University of Utah where the first artificial heart was created to where it is today with the S3 that you just saw and where we are going. All right. What you just saw is backed by incredible partnerships that individual organizations, schools, universities that have taken our technology and done over 110 clinical studies and over 180 white papers on the science, on the device, and the results. And so this is backed by science, this is irrefutable, and is actually based on Nobel Prize winning science. Now you saw the evolution, that first scanner that I got scanned right there on the left. After I got scanned by it, I recommended my dad go to an event where the person that had brought me on board, a guy named Nathan Ricks, was presenting in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is about 2 hours from where my dad was living at the time. I told him about this getting scanned. I told him how it affected me. And because my dad has such a high value, he drove 2 hours, got scanned, and my dad was in the red. He was where average Americans are, in the red. He was angry. He was actually more angry than mine because he's been doing this for his entire life and then influenced me on it. And what he was doing, spending over several $100s a month on vitamins, was not working. He had bronchitis and pneumonia, literally like every single year. And he took the challenge with us because he was part of that 69 to 78% of the population that was doing supplements with no idea if they worked and no idea what to take. Now look at those percentages: 18 to 34%, 18 to 34 years of age, 69%. And as people get older, it's surprising, more aware of, wow, I must do something different. Now, let's just say average 75% of the population is on 25% that don't, because they don't know what to take and they don't know what it works. Are you seeing the business opportunity here? When you're the only one that is able to do what we do, is guide people to do what to take based on science and prove to them that it's working. We see the subscriptions of people that are on our products that have gotten scanned, gotten a score, know what it is, seen it improve over time, which takes about 4 to 14 weeks to demonstrate this cellular change at the end location, not your blood. There's no, this is non-invasive. In 30 seconds, you get a score that we can show you how that is impacted. Now, not just from your supplements you're taking, but also lifestyle changes. This is a behavior modification tool that relates to a product that can improve your score, completely non-biased. You make adjustments in your lifestyle to reduce free radical activity, okay, which ultimately has been approved by National Institute of Health. It's just why we die. The amount of free radical hits we take in our lifetime is what killed us, unless you have an accident or taken out by a bus. Because those free radical activities that we're going under, from stress, from the sun, from working out, from really, like, all of the influence creates DNA mutation, cellular degeneration, and ultimately cancers, right? The only known solution to free radicals are antioxidants. And what we're measuring is the baseline, what is used first in your body to fight those free radicals, right? So you've got to increase that score. You've got to get that score up as high as you possibly can. And we offer products that we guarantee will raise the score. Now, the device is not biased, but we do use this technology to formulate better products that we know are going to increase your score. That SCS logo on that says that if you take these products for 60 days, you receive them at least twice on subscription. There's nothing binding, no contracts on this, and you get the best price. Is that we guarantee that will raise your score. And all of this Life Pack line and others that are in your markets like Juvie, Collagen Plus, which I'm going to talk about, these products we guarantee will improve your score. And it's not just psychosomatic, not just in your head, it's not just a placebo effect, that we will scientifically prove with measurement that it will improve your well-being, your immune system, your health, and your protection against free radicals, right? So you want to get on these products. You get on a subscription of them. You put them in your body twice a day so you can increase your score and get scanned. I like to scan my people about 6 weeks after their first initial scan, and using the products 6 weeks so we can change you at the cellular level. There's no way to cheat that test, all right? 4 to 14 weeks to be able to change your cells. Now, here's where we're going. Right? You saw that we're going from this to this. We talked about scanning the world when I started 21 years ago. And we watched this technology go into where we can actually hold it in one hand. Now it's in the palm of our hand and we can put it in our pocket. That we can literally put our finger on it and in 15 seconds to show someone the difference demonstrated. Now, the rollout of this, these are premium. Okay, you will see as we roll these out as a business tool that we're able to acquire customers, all the 75% of the population that's on those supplements that doesn't know they're working, and also retain customers because we have as high of like in the 88, 90 to 94% retention, 92% retention when someone has been scanned 4 times as a customer annually, and it goes up to 96% as they migrate to, on average, 4 products. They consume more as they see this score change. And then because they do so, they start to buy other devices like this and like this, other devices and other personal care products at a rate of nearly 140% more because of being able to demonstrate that difference and show them what is possible. Now let's talk about the difference demonstrated in compensation, on why I went from linear income to leveraged income, and how I was able to work 11 of the last 21 years, and why I'm working again because of this massive opportunity that you can see the direct correlation to you and the leveraged income in your life that is willable to future heirs of your family that you can pass on. And I will say that literally my family, I will be defined by this. Yes, being a great husband and a great father. But my legacy, I will be told, yeah, remember great grandpa Patterson? He launched that prison platform around the world and dramatically influenced my family. These are the average incomes of our sales leaders. Now, leverage begins truly at what we call brand representative. You see that is like the third one down from the top. Brand representative can be achieved in literally a day. You can do it as fast with a company as a week. Company will give you months to do it. The faster, the better, because we want you to become a brand representative as quickly as possible. There's a very simple qualifying process, and you can do so by acquiring customers and other brand affiliates that would like to make money that also become end users of our products. Now, I'm sure on here you see a number that is attractive to you, and a number that would help you really change your life in a manner of additional income. Maybe it's replacement income like you were, like myself, and I was looking for as when I wanted to leave wakeboarding, or your dream income on something that you have never made before. I'm here to tell you that whatever you want, it is possible. Now, human behavior, okay, let's talk about financial independence. If I could see you all and ask who wants financial independence, I'm sure all of you would raise your hand. Well, less than 1% of the population has financial independence. Why? Well, because 99+% of the population are doing linear activities that will never generate financial independence. It requires actually doing a leveraged activity to create a leveraged asset. And here, this leveraged asset is willable to be able to help people create financial independence. Now, I want you to look, I'm sure your eyes went to that bottom where I've been for 20 of 21 years. And this percentage on the far right, 3.4% roughly. And if I could have Nick Weinerkerb, you can mute everybody that's unmuted. And if you're not muted, please mute yourself. Thank you very much. Is that 3.4% of those that are brand rep or higher are at Blue Diamond. Like this is outside of human behavior norms. Now, granted, 5% of people actually continue on with the things that they start. 95% quit everything that they do. Right? I mean, we see half of marriages, people quit. So why would this be any different? Yet here, because we have a system and we have mentorship, we have people to invest in you, coaches, all right, that we can help people tell you what to do, show you how to do it. You do it, come back for additional coaching, and go and do it again and again, and then teach others to do the exact same thing. We have over 1,200 individuals around the world that are at that Blue Diamond Director level. We have another level that is higher, okay, that there are hundreds, several hundreds that we call Team Elites, which I've been at that title for 19 of the 21 years. Why is this important? Unless you're following a proven model where thousands before you have created success doing the exact same thing, it is unlikely that you will be able to create high-level success with it. And you're throwing spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks. Now, if you're like me, and I'm looking for people like me, I'm looking for those that have found themselves because they followed principles to be at the top 1% or less of whatever they've done. The Nick Weinekers of the world, right? I met this kid at 15 years old. I watched him ride with a group of about 14 other people. He was not the best rider. He was arguably probably the worst in the group, yet I saw in his eyes persistence. I saw that this kid was going to learn what he wanted to do and that he had something the rest of the boat didn't have. I invested in him because I saw that. I knew what to look for. He went on to become number 6 in the world of all the professional athletes 12 years later. 12 years. 17 years with Nuskin. 12 years before he went to the top, portion of the company. That's persistence. That's principle-based. And so we see if you're like me and you know, which I'm looking for you, if you know you will go to the top of whatever you do, it's not equal everywhere. 95% of those that have been with us at brand rep or higher are blue diamonds. 95% of those that have been with us for 10 years at brand rep or higher are blue diamonds. So anything you want to create success with is going to take time. This is not going to be easy. This will most likely be the hardest thing you have ever done. It's not the work that's hard. The hardest part is right here. And you ask my wife, she'll tell you, just saying that I get my own way every day. I am my biggest obstacle, just like you are your greatest challenge for success. If you're coachable, you're willing to change, and you'll invest in yourself, we will invest in you. We do these Zooms regularly to help tell the story where we're going. We travel around the world, both domestically and internationally, telling the story over and over for people to see what's possible for them, as I was shown it 21 years ago, and then showed it to my very good friend and brother, Nick Weineker. And so as you look at this, there's a proven model of success, and I'm telling you that the numbers just continue to get better. And as we update these numbers for the 2025 numbers in June that I just went over here with our legal team, you're going to be dramatically impressed because they just keep getting better. And there's no fine print. Okay, now you're looking at fine print here on the disclaimers, which are important, yet it is up to you. Your success ultimately falls in you. If you show up and you follow the principles of success that are absolutely crucial. Now let's talk about timing, okay? Why is there urgency? Well, if you're familiar with Rogers adoption curve, and I'm going to give my comparison with my good friend Nick Weineker, which I'm sure he loves this story and is tired of hearing it. Yet when I saw wakeboarding in 1993, that I caught a vision that was so big, I had fear of that happening without me. I had more fear of it missing it and thinking, gosh, what would I do if I had to live in regret the rest of my life? That was scarier than the fear of failure. And so I went to my friends and told them, listen, I'm leaving college. I'm going to my senior year. I'm no longer going to study to be a doctor. I'm going to leave the track team at U of O, and I'm going to move to Florida, learn to wakeboard, and become a pro wakeboarder. They said, you're crazy. How are you going to become professional at something that doesn't even exist? It didn't exist to them. It existed to me. Within a couple years, those same people that called me crazy were not only wakeboarding, they were riding a wakeboard with my name on it. I was an innovator. I've been an innovator my whole life. 3% of the population are innovators. They're called crazy for the things that we do. They're the mavericks. They're the misfits, the ones that stick out. And if that's you, once again, we are looking for you to position, because the wave in front of us that is coming is bigger and bigger. Some of those will come in early adopters. Some will be the early majority. That was the Nick Weinekers, right? I recommended Nick move to Florida and become a pro when he was 15. He waited 3 more years. That put him in the 3rd generation. Nick was 10 times the wakeboarder I was at ability. I made more than 20 times the amount of money that Nick did because of my timing. Timing does matter. Now, I'm not saying if you don't do it now, it doesn't exist in the future. No, because we continue to stand on the shoulder of giants. We continue to innovate. And we're going to roll out, literally, we will roll out thousands this year, millions the next year, tens of millions after that. And I want you to understand and see the numbers associated with this as we go from a total of 5,000 of these scanners. And literally just in between the first and second quarter next year, we will have over 25,000 of these devices. Well, what does that mean to you? Now, I showed you the average incomes, but I want to show you directly what it means to you with every one of these devices that you put out there. Let's say you build a team. Maybe you see personally, man, I can go place 50 of these prisms out there in the market. Or maybe you say, you know what? I could work with 5 other people to each of us do, 8 to get to 50. And everybody do just a minimum of 10 subscriptions at $100 each. That's going to pay $2,500 a month leverage, just based on 5% commission. Now, I'm under promising and over delivering because the commissions are actually more than this. But I'm showing you our back end, the leverage portion of our business, that if you're the 1% of the of what you've done before, I know you didn't have leverage. This is why you would do this. For leveraged, a leveraged asset that you have the ability to choose what you do when you do it. Like I have had the ability over the course of the last 21 years after I built that asset. Now let's say, I'm going to build a team that goes out and does 500 prisms, 10 subscriptions each. At $100, that is $25,000 a month leveraged income. Now we're literally like about half the way to Blue Diamond right now. Could you go out and do 10 and build a team, over time of another 49 people that get this story and know that this is going to happen just like the other behavior modification device, like the Oura Ring, the Whoop, the Apple Watch, that change people's lives? Yet do it in a space. We are the only one on the planet with over 26 million scans, 100 million data points, and combined with machine learning and AI, we will dominate. We will be the only player that can do this in the supplement world. A $60 billion industry in the United States, a $300 billion industry globally. And we are the only one that can do what we're doing with 18 patents and more patents being filed on this as we combine with AI, machine learning, algorithms, and those 26 million scans and 100 million data points. Now, if you're not a scientist like I'm not, I had to learn that 100 million data points is far more than what is considered scientifically significant when you have 497 data points at least. You see the differentiation? You see the positioning on what we're doing? Now, you can do the math. What does it look like if you have 5,000 prisms in your organization over the next 3, 5, 10 years? What if you did 50,000 prisms around the world? Do the math. You can chart your future. Now, we're also opening in new markets. India is on the horizon towards the end of this year, next year. Now, my desire is it's a little further out because it is a race to the starting line. Every single new market that we have ever opened, it is about the work we do before the market opens. Just very much like this, the work we do now before we are doing millions, multiple millions in production a month, going out to the consumer, direct to consumers that are using our products. It is about the pipeline of distribution you build to leverage this. The same with opening the market of India. Who do you know that is outside of India, that is an overseas Indian, a person of Indian origin, or a non-resident Indian that you have the ability to sponsor into this business, to coach, to mentor, whether it's you or someone else that's a senior partner that can help you do that, help them progress through our compensation plan, and help them build some success so that when the Indian markets open, you immediately have business, right? That is what I mean by it's a race to the starting line with India, and it's a race to the starting line with our Prism IO. Now, what do you do today? You get started with us today. You create a free account as a brand affiliate. This is your business account. Now, this account is where you're going to monitor all your business. This is an account that you're going to be paid your commission on. This is the entity in the business of Nuskin that you have a position that you're building your distribution channel around, that you're leveraging. Now, then you're also going to work with the person that's running you, help you create your member account. This is the account that you're going to buy all of your own personal products on. Okay, so you have this member account that is actually separate from your business account, is connected, although you buy your products in your member account and you manage your business on your business account. You purchase one of the 250 point kits at least to begin your personal transformation, to get your score as high as you possibly can. Because telling this story, you want to be able to say, I went from 31,000 all the way into the 80,000s. My life changed. I look younger. I've gotten in better shape. I'm healthier. I have better antioxidant production based on science. And so that you can tell that story. I'm sure you're just like me. You say, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I got to believe in it. You have to take it and put it in your body to believe in it. Now, are there any requirements just by the company? No, there's no requirement to you ever buy a product. This is a principle of success. When I started wakeboarding, well, was I just given a wakeboard and given a boat and somebody gave me that? No, I had to invest. I had to learn. I had to surround myself with a community of people. Okay. I had to buy a wakeboard. I had to buy a boat. I had to pay for gas, and I had to immerse myself in a community that was moving in the same direction. That is why we have events that you can come to the company. You can go to your local areas. Like I'm going to the UK. I'll be in London or UK in 3 different areas, including London, Leicester, and Chester. It sounds really funny. In 3 different days. Then Nick and I go to South Africa. We'll be in Cape Town, then Durban, then Port Elizabeth, and then Johannesburg. We will be doing a tour around North America where you can go to these events, see this presentation, see other individuals where they have progressed to, their backgrounds. You can have social validation that this has worked for the last 41 years, and we're going from 2 billion to 10 billion in annual revenue. Okay. Now there are other kits and outside, like this is a kit for South Africa that's Collagen Plus, the scanner certified, the LumiSpa, which is a device that will anti-age, take years off your appearance, and it will exfoliate and also reset your genes in genetic expression. You have kits in your areas that you can get on the best value, get on the products, be an example of the product, and being able to demonstrate the product for others. Now, where you lean your ladder matters. As I said, if you're going to go to the top, it doesn't mean that it's always equal. The top in wakeboarding was here, linear income. The top of Nuskin was here with leveraged income. I was one of the only few, very handful that were able to make the money that I made in wakeboarding. I have thousands of people that have made similar or better income than me. You want to catch this wave. Now, when you look at the industry of direct sales, I'm not a fan of the industry. 99.92% of companies don't make it out of 65,000 companies since the 1950s. We are part of the 0.02% that are over $1 billion in annual revenue and have been for multiple decades. You want to work with a company that differentiates themselves from others with the products, with the compensation, as we pay 40% commissions annually and have for 41 years. We will continue to do so for the next 40 years. We invite you to do this with us and catch these waves like Nick and I and countless others that are on here with you have done. I'm going to toss it back to Nick Weiner to close us out. I look forward to, we do these Zooms nearly every single day and multiple times a day for you to plug into, for you to be able to leverage these resources and us that have experience to tell the story to the people that you would like to work with And we invite you to come out to the company on the third Friday and Saturday of every month, nearly every month. Some of the months we have little dates because of the holidays, but the third Friday and Saturday of March, we will be at our corporate headquarters, the Innovation Center, for a fly-in where you can come kick the tires, check behind the curtain, get direction on how to meet our scientists and our executive team, and spend time with us and move forward with us. So Nick Weinecker, I'll toss it back to you. Thank you everyone for your time, and see you on our next call.
Yeah, guys. So as I said in the beginning, and as Charlie mentioned as we went,